Hello. If you can see this video, that means you have made it. Congrats to the second week, the Tuesday of the second week of September 2025. And once again, I am back here with the same video, like I promised to make a video every single day. This only takes me about 15 minutes to make this video, so I don't have to compromise it. But a little bit of updates. I hope you're doing great. I also start by saying good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whenever you're watching this video, whatever time you're watching this video, because you can watch this video at any moment. I have to record this video as soon as I get home in the evening, but you can watch this video at any moment of the day. So I just want to say, whenever time you are in, whatever time you're watching this video, early morning, the afternoon, in the midnight, any moment, I just want to say, hey, congrats, you're here. So I've been waking up earlier, so I've been very consistent, thankfully. Seems like this month of September is becoming more productive as I'm getting more involved. I'm doing more stuff. Actually, my skin kind of looks very shining, so kind of beautiful. But I just came from school right now. As you can see, it's dark, and I'm making this video in my closet again because I'm eventually finishing school late, around 7:40, and then by the time I get the bus, I have to switch 3 buses, which is a lot. So I'm thinking about moving across the campus at least 10 minutes because I live at the other side of DC. So anyways, eventually it's been a good experience having to wait the bus for 30-40 minutes. Bus in this part of town is very slow, and they operate like past 9 o'clock. They don't really, so very hard, very tough, but I'm hanging in there. I'm not complaining at all because it's a master's degree and I'm an adult, I'm mature, and I don't have to be scared of being myself outside. But safety is the number one key. Today was a very, very interesting class. In fact, it was so interesting that I had to post about it on LinkedIn, and people on LinkedIn responded, so great. But also I think that not everybody uses LinkedIn, especially people who are going to be watching this video on YouTube. Most likely they don't use LinkedIn, but they were able to understand this video. Also, I barely check on LinkedIn, but I'm posting because I need the engagement. I need to be able to get a job someday, and once I get a job, I just want to move on, keep doing YouTube videos, but not really involved in LinkedIn. So today's class, microeconomics, it was always about the marginal utility, the derivative, the mathematical part of it. Today we went to read deeper to go from the parameter or the constant variables to more of the changing in mathematics, in calculus they call them changes, or in economics they call them variables, or the constant numbers they call them parameters. But the most interesting part is how when people, also known as agents, make choices, like how we make choices, and you can apply these theories to pretty much anything, right? You can apply these theories to how presidents make decisions, how police make decisions, how individuals make decisions, right? The decisions, they can be mathematically be quantified, right? And my professor, after he finished teaching, I was in the bus coming back to come back home, and I was thinking about a couple months ago. This is really like April. I wish I made the videos for the past 2 months. This would have made the sense, but I was questioning, why do we have tariffs? Like, why are we passing tariffs? Yes, we have a deficit, right? We have a deficit with China. That means we are spending more money buying things from China than they're buying from us. So, and there's a reason why people are doing that. A, it's because it's cheaper. and B is because they are efficient. They supply those goods to us much efficient. And C, countries cannot be perfect. Countries cannot survive without trading. Like, we cannot survive on our own. Like, if you look at my room, I have, toilet papers, I have cooking pot, and I have, like, shoes here, right? Clothes on, like, these things are made by people. Then you have cameras, have food I'm gonna be eating in a minute from now, right? So I cannot produce something on my own. So agents cannot be self-sufficient. This is like the Bible says that people, like, just the Bible, the Christians, they just say it's God who does it. But we as individuals, we actually survive on our own, and we do that by trading with other people, right? We trade, we make these choices, and when we trade, we seek the benefits, and we stick to two theories. Number one is the marginal benefit that we get, and the other one is the marginal cost, right? So it's how much benefit you're getting by trading something to another thing, right? You may be selling shoes to get the money, right? And then you may be spending money to get shoes, right? One way or the other. But also, even when you trade shoes, you have to think about how much it took to make that shoe, right? The time it took, the material it took. What kind of material do you use? How can you access that material that you used? Then how many shoes can you make, right? Then you think about the money that you're gonna be getting. How much that money is gonna help you fulfill your needs. If the value of that money is lower, there's a chance that you're gonna be. What the hell? That was scary, right? Somebody was in my room. Anyway, oh jeez, this is scary. So okay, what was I talking about? I was mentioning how the next time I go into my room, I need to close my door because I live in DC, and when I talk about these things, post on internet, post on LinkedIn, YouTube, people are going to see these videos, right? And my safety is a key, right? I hope you see this video someday, and you know that the safety is a key when you get into this, the policies and understanding things, the political, the push, like these things. People do see these things and they kind of get angry. So it's kind of scared. So somebody could be in my room, but anyway, so I'm not gonna edit this out. It's gonna stay in there. So you got to see those choices, right? If the value of money is lower than the shoes that you're going to be selling or making, then you will choose to keep shoes, then don't get the money, right? Same thing applies to, but the question can be how much money, like what's the value of that money, right? And the value of that money is based on other factors, like how much can you buy, right? Or how much can you sell, right? So if you are selling shoes and you need the money to buy a car, right? That means the value of that money is based on what kind of car can you buy, or how many cars can you buy. So the optimal of whatever you can buy is equivalent to the value of the money that you're going to be spending. Very economic theory that is very complicated, especially in very high economic countries like the United States. Now, I want to watch this video real quick because I want to hit 15 minutes before I finish. Now, I'm trying to apply this economic theory into more of a nations. Like Trump, for example, he passed a much more tariffs on China, many other nations too. But China responded, right? And there was tit for tat in the game theory economics. So China kept raising, then US kept raising, then they have to lower down, then they lower down, right? They're not finding the optimal, right? But the benefits of that raising tariffs is that United is hoping that Trump is going to help the United States lower the deficit, right? So United States sells less goods to China, China buys more goods to the US. The marginal cost of that, or the additional cost of raising tariffs both on China and the United States, is how much can their own people tolerate the price on the market. If Americans can find that the prices of goods come from China, my shoes, my cooking pot, from China is expensive, and then the Chinese have so much inventory in their warehouse that they cannot sell to the American people, both are going to ask their president to go out there and negotiate. This is what we call negotiation. It's very interesting. But what about poor countries though, right? Like Africa, like Uganda is poor. It depends on import. Well, these countries, they have to shut up. They have to keep their mouth shut because they have no economic power. They have no trading power because they rely on imports or some sort of aid. This becomes a big problem. The same theory can be applied to housing market. When the housing market is too expensive, only the rich people can buy. Poor people don't buy. So we have these issues in the United States. What about education? Somebody who went to Harvard has a chance of getting a loan from the bank, start a business, or get a job in a high-paying job. Right? Meanwhile, somebody who went to a poor school, they have a lower chance of getting a high-paying job. They are fast staying poor. And these theories, these choices are very interesting when it comes to how we make policies, right? Especially in Washington, D.C. For example, I can make policies with Trump by supporting him to raise tariffs on China, as long as those tariffs are going to hurt China. And yes, the people in the United States who are economists who actually help Trump pass tariffs to hurt China. Like that's their benefit, they're benefiting it. So then they have to weigh in the marginal cost of raising those tariffs on the American people versus how much China is going hurting, right? So all of these things kind of like make sense now, why you can play these things around and kind of move all these graphs all over. And anyway, so I hope that these economic theories will eventually somehow help me advise people, maybe a consultant, and be able to help other people out. And also it can be the same thing with monopoly, like if you have Google in every single phone, right? That Google company, they hold the monopoly, right? So they have to they just control. You cannot build another Google search engine because Google will just destroy it. Similar goes to people with more money. People with more money, they consume more stuff. People with less money, they can consume less stuff. And these theories are very crucial, but also very interesting. And when you're trying to advise countries, it becomes a really good point. Now, I didn't mention about poor countries. Poor countries, they cannot make decisions. Like they have decisions, but they cannot implement them. And that's because they have no information, right? Like in Africa, for example, if you want to enact policies in Africa to help African people be more productive, be more rich, they don't have information. There is no data to back up. You don't know how much people consume. You don't know how much people can tolerate. You don't know their productivity, and all that can be achieved by either having technology to record that idea, or you can allow any other ways of recording. Like China, for example, surveillance their own people, so they have enough data. United States, they have individual companies doing the same thing, surveilling people. They have information, so they determine how much they can spend. So that kind of helps, they determine, like, think, So either way, both the poor countries and the poor people, the main reason why they cannot make these choices, or they make the choices but they cannot implement them, is because they don't have information. Lack of information is a key, and something that nations can focus on is having their own people have access to information that is needed to achieve goals. When there's no information, agents make irrational decisions. like a president from a poor country doing something stupid without knowing how much the people can suffer. So very interesting. And again, this is a 15 minutes video. If you find this is very helpful, please follow me and let me know. And like always, ciao ciao, bye bye.